Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing my first whip and chat. I am so excited. I've never done a whip and chat just because there's usually a lot of noise going on in my house. You're probably gonna hear the birds because the room with the best lighting in this house is coincidentally where the birds are. And, they'll do their thing and they will be singing. So I'm very sorry if that's very distracting. But there's nobody in the house today. So I thought that it would be a good opportunity to try and do a little whip and chat and see how it turns out. I need the distraction. There are a lot of things going on right now that are not good, and you don't really know me because I basically just started posting. I mean, I've been posting for a bit, but I just recently kind of started back up, and I want to really take this seriously because I do really like this. I like the process of creating these videos, so I do really want to take this more seriously. Right now I'm just changing out the putty that I currently have in my pen, and we'll talk about the accessories in just a second. But what I was saying is that you don't really know me because basically I've only been on the internet for little bits, and I've never shared a lot of personal information. So you don't really know what's going on, but there are some things that are happening, and I'll do a little bit of a summary to catch you. I don't know why this putty is sticking so much to the tip. That was a struggle. So we'll talk about that. I don't want it all to be negative, but that's kind of where I am right now, where things are just not going great. Also, TMI, but I'm on my period and I just need the distraction, I just need to do a little bit of diamond painting and just talk to the camera and try to calm down a little bit because it hasn't been easy. Like, this putty isn't being easy. I don't know why it doesn't want to come out. Also, I do need to add a little bit of washi because this does not fit super snugly in the pen. So hopefully I'm in frame. I can't see anything because I'm filming from like top down. So hopefully we're in frame and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just putting a little piece of washi and hopefully that will keep it in place. Okay, I think, no, we still have a little bit left. So let me walk you through the canvas and the tools that I'm going to be using today. I am currently working on Books and Nooks by Yuumei Art. This is from Diamond Art Club. And Yuumei has to be probably my favorite, but I would probably say top 3 because I don't know if I could choose a top favorite artist. I have so many. But top 3. I love Yuumei's art, and I had been wanting to work on this kit for a while, and finally I was like, it's time. I think the only reason that I really didn't pull it out to work on it is because of all of the color blocking in the background, because it's a lot. This has been a lot, and it's also light colors. So if you're kind of like a perfectionist like I am, light color backgrounds are just a nightmare. because you can see absolutely every little imperfection, every little gap, and I don't like that, but there's really not much I can do, right? So that's the canvas. The pens, both of them are from Butterfly Effect Wares. I talked about these in my previous video about how to order custom diamond painting pens. Love them. Putty, I think I'm gonna use these two. These are from Creations Morin and then Thes Studios on Etsy, and then Creations Morin, they do have a website. I'll leave them both linked down below if in case you want to check them out. These are my two favorite putties ever. They're amazing. I do have a little trash minder right here. This is from Bijou Bliss. Highly recommend their trays as well. They have some beautiful trays, and I love that little trash minder. It's perfect. So let's just fill one of the pens with the Creations Morin, and then the other pen with the Thes Studios. I kind of blanked there a little bit. So how are you all doing? I hope that you're doing well. I wish that I could say that I'm doing great, but the truth is that I'm not that good. Things could always be worse. I know that. And I'm very grateful for a lot of things, but right now my mental health is taking such a hit, and it's really affecting me to the point where I actually have a partial hospitalization that's gonna start on Monday, and that's kind of scary. I've had one in the past, and the good thing is that they're completely voluntary. Nobody's making me do this. I don't need to go, but it is the quickest way for me to get the help that I need right now, because I think that there is a problem with one of my medication, and my current psychiatrist does not have any appointments until the end of March. So, you know, with any type of medication, you really want to get that checked out ASAP if you feel like something's not right. So I don't really want to mess with that, especially with a like a medication for mental health. That's even scarier. So please, if you ever feel like something's not right, try to get an appointment ASAP. Don't leave that hanging, and also don't go without your medication. Please don't do that. So that was the Creations Morin putty. Now we're doing the Thes Studio and strawberry. Oh, by the way, the one that I used was kiwi watermelon. It smells amazing. I think the kiwi watermelon is back in stock right now for the spring, or I don't know if they included them in the core line, but that is probably one of my favorite scents that I've ever had in one of the putties. It's delicious. So now we're doing Thes Studio in this one, and this is in the scent strawberry, and it does smell faintly of strawberries, I think. It's not like a very like sweet candy strawberry, but I do like the scent. And like I said, it's probably my favorite, one of my favorite putties, alongside the Creations Morin one. They are amazing. Also remember that if you're trying out putties, you might have to try a few before you find the one that works for you, just because we all live in different climates, and sometimes where you live might be a little bit of a drier climate. I live in a very hot and humid climate, so the putty, first of all, can't be too soft, because if it's too soft, with the heat, it's gonna get even softer, and then it's just gonna be stringy and messy. I am struggling so much today. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. We're not cutting any of this out because this is just a very chill video. It's not to stress me out with perfection. I need to also learn to let go of perfection because that does not exist. So I'm just trying to get a good amount of putty in here. That's gonna be good enough. Let's see if we can maybe start. I feel like I've been here forever and I haven't even started placing any diamonds. Okay, so we're gonna be working on this section right here. I kinda did already the lighter background. Gonna turn on the backlight and we will start working on the details. I'm gonna move a little trash minder over there. And I think we're ready to start finally. I have this kit in Trobrix. This has become my absolute favorite storage solution, and I don't think I can go back to anything else because it just works with my brain and how I like to organize and do things. So I think this is gonna be it for me. I thought that I wouldn't order any more trays because I was like, well, I'm not really using trays because the Trobrix are both storage and tray in one. But I ended up ordering the Bijou Bliss tray for the Miss Butter D event because I could not help myself. That tray is one of the most beautiful trays I've ever seen. I already love Bijou Bliss, but for some reason that tray was calling for me and telling me that I needed it. So I purchased it. Like I said, I don't really use trays much because these already have the trays in them. But I'll figure out an excuse to use them. I couldn't pass it up. It was too cute, and then I really would have kicked myself if I didn't get it because I really do love it. So they are right now made to order, so it's gonna take a while. But I do plan on showing you guys when it arrives so that you can see just how gorgeous it is. I am a little bit shaky. Like I said, I haven't been feeling my best, and also when I'm on my period, I feel like the life is being sucked out of me, and I just can't function like properly. So I'm trying my best to get these lines straight, but today is not the day for perfection. Like I said, it does not exist, and today it exists even less because I picked up some trash on my finger because I am just not feeling great. So let's talk a little bit about it. I've been struggling with anxiety and a panic disorder for probably most of my adult life. When I was younger, what is going on? Should I close this a little bit more? There. When I was younger, I really didn't struggle much with anxiety. I had a very, I'm not gonna say I had a troubled childhood because it wasn't really that bad, but it wasn't perfect. And it did create some trauma, but for the most part, I never really suffered with anxiety or depression. The only time that I ever really struggled a bit was when my parents got divorced, and my mom took me to see a therapist to make sure that everything was okay. But like, things panned out okay. Nothing really was that bad. I had a really good time in high school. I'm a little bit fatigued also, like I said, because of my period. It gets me very fatigued, so I apologize. I loved high school. For me, it was one of the best times that I've ever had, which is very contradictory to a lot of people's experience with high school. But I don't know. I had a really great time. I had a lot of great friends. I did really well in school. So I was in honor rolls. I was in a lot of like extra. What is that bird outside of my house? That sounded quite scary. I don't know what that is. I was in a lot of extracurricular activities. I had a lot of friends. I was doing really good in school. Like, my teenage years were really good. We didn't really have things like in the movies where, the popular kids and, the not popular kids. For some reason, here it doesn't really kind of work that way. So everybody was like normal. Everybody was pretty much equal. There's always gonna be the bullies and everything, and there's always gonna be someone that gets bullied, unfortunately. But there weren't like that many like cliques and like, the super popular kids in school and the super unpopular kids in school. We didn't really have that. So anyway, I'm rambling on about high school. My high school experience was really good. And then I went into college and everything was going pretty good. It was a little bit of a stark difference because my mom was very, very like overprotective. So having a lot more freedom in college was strange to say the least. But I had a really good experience. At that point, I just realized I missed all of those L's. Birds, please, can you give me a little minute to talk? I missed all of those L's. At that point, I was in a relationship. I met this guy. I don't even know how we met. I can't even remember. I think we met online. And he went on to be my boyfriend for almost 10 years. So I grew up with this person. And when I was in college, we weren't in a relationship yet. Let me see. Am I missing any more anchors? I don't think so, but I probably am. We weren't in a relationship yet. We knew each other, but I really wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I literally had just gotten out of high school and I wasn't ready. I wanted to see what college life was like. But eventually we did end up in a relationship. And eventually I transferred college because I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I started. So I went into a bachelor's that was like very generic, but I knew that I really couldn't do anything with that. So as I went on and kind of saw, okay, maybe I want to go into this, maybe I want to go into that, the college I was in did not have that program. So I transferred, and I actually transferred to the college that my boyfriend was at. We were in completely different majors, so we never really saw each other, and we had like very different schedules because I was working a lot. Sorry if I move the tripod. I'm trying to move myself without hitting the tripod too much. Okay, I think I'm better now. What symbol were we doing? Okay. So I was working a lot. Basically, once I started college, I was like not on my own, but kind of on my own. So I had to get there was a point where I was working 3 jobs to be able to pay my car and just pay for my things, because I really didn't have a lot of financial support from my family. So that all of this to say, that is when my panic attacks started. I was in college. I had already transferred to that college, and my first panic attack was in a Spanish class. So where I live, Spanish is our first language. So it wasn't like, I was in a specialized class. No, it was literally a regular class. And so I was taking a Spanish class, and I was literally just sitting there. The professor was talking, and he was like the cool professor on campus where, he's super chill and he likes to be kind of more friendly with the students. And I don't know, I really didn't vibe with him. I don't know what happened, but I failed that class in the end, but it doesn't matter. I'm trying to find the symbol and I can't find it. Where is it actually? Oh, here it is. So I remember that he was in the middle of talking, and I felt like I was having a heart attack. I had never had a panic attack before. I didn't know what they felt like. So the first thing I thought of was a heart attack. So I literally interrupted the class, and I raised my hand while he was just talking. And I'm like, I don't feel well. I think something's wrong. And thankfully, he was like, everybody, oh my God, can I speak? Everybody was super cool about it. And everybody went to help me. Someone went to the machine and they got me some juice just in case it was like a low blood sugar episode. I had already had lunch, so I was pretty sure that it wasn't that, but just in case, they bought me a juice. It was an orange juice, and I drank a little bit of it, but now I know that it was a panic attack, and there was nothing that juice could do to save me. So they took me to the medic, and that's when the medic made the suggestion, like, oh, have you ever had a panic attack? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? I don't have anxiety. And he was like, well, you may want to talk to your doctor and see, because whatever happened right now kind of looks like a panic attack. And I was like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, it was anxiety. It was a panic attack. And ever since that day, I've never been able to go back to quote unquote normal. My life forever changed, and I can't say that it changed for the better. I used to love exploring. I used to love going out. I wanted to travel the world. And now all of those things terrify me. I everything that's fun doesn't seem fun to me anymore. There is a lot of trauma behind it that obviously I'm not going to get into details right now, so don't worry. But it caused a lot of changes. So right now I'm in a place, I think I should just rewind. I did get treatment. I started seeing a therapist, I started seeing a psychiatrist, and I got put on medication. And it was working. Everything was working well. We had to change my medication a few times. We had to change dosages a few times. But that's pretty standard. That's pretty common. But I had finally found something that really was working. We found a good combination. It was working. My anxiety was as in control as it had been in a really, really long time. And I was so grateful for that. I was finally starting to kind of go out a little bit, not like go out to like clubbing or anything like that. I've never really loved clubbing, but I was starting to go out to like eat places, and I was able to go to the mall, which I hadn't gone in such a long time. I was doing pretty good. And then something happened. So I think I should put a trigger warning right now. I am going to be talking about like sick family members. Excuse me. So maybe if that's a topic that you can't handle right now, then I completely understand if you need to click it out. But what I'm going to be talking about is a family member's condition. Obviously, I'm not going to give, it's nothing gruesome, but I know that for a lot of people, it is very triggering to hear about a family member being sick or having any type of condition or ailment. So I just want to make sure. Birds, please. I just want to make sure that everybody feels safe here. Do you see what I mean with the birds? Like, why are you screaming so much? They're literally looking at each other and screaming. I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it now. So my grandmother has dementia, and that is a very, very difficult condition to deal with. For the family members, obviously for them, but you as family members or as caretakers of a patient with dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that, it's very difficult, and it does take a toll on your mental health. And if you're not careful, it's a slippery slope. So what happens is my grandmother obviously she can't live alone. I'm just trying to let the birds calm down a little bit. She can't live alone. So she comes to live with us here. And during the day, she goes to, it's like a daycare. We call it the daycare. Because she literally goes to this little like center, like care center. And they do like a bunch of activities, and they take care of them during the day, and then you just pick them up in the afternoon, and you take them home. So it's literally like a daycare, but for patients with Alzheimer's and dementia. So she is in that center, and it's helped a lot, but she has gotten to a point where, oh my god, was this one a little bow? Yes, it was. Okay. She has gotten to a point where she is starting to show signs of aggression, and that is never fun. Right? Your grandma, the one that raised you, at least me, all of a sudden getting aggressive towards you. It affects you in so many ways. Not only physically, because if she gets aggressive, obviously physically, but mentally. So mentally, it does take a toll on you. And even though I'm not her primary caretaker, she does live here. So I've had to experience it, firsthand. And like I said, I didn't have any drill. Like I said, she's starting to show signs of aggression, and that is never good, because when they get to a point where they start being aggressive, it's kind of a sign of going downhill. So there was this particular episode where she was aggressive towards us, and ever since that day, my panic attacks came back. And it's as if the wall that the medication had started to build crumbled. And like I said, I started having the panic attacks again, anxiety like 24/7. It's been terrible. And that's why I needed like the help as fast as possible, because it feels like it's a combination of that situation with the medication kind of not working. Like maybe we need to change the dosage or change the medication entirely. And I needed the help as fast as possible, because if you've ever dealt with a panic disorder or even just like one panic attack, you know how absolutely terrifying they can be. And I'm getting them every day, like every single day. It's kind of torture. So that's why I decided to call and see if they had any availability to start a partial hospitalization. So if you've never heard of that, it's like a psychiatric hospitalization, but instead of staying there, you were able to go out during, you just go in for the therapy sessions and then you leave. So there's group therapy, you see a psychologist, a psychiatrist. And why are these so crooked? And then from there, your treatment is determined. So once you talk with your psychiatrist and they evaluate you, they can determine if your medication needs to be changed, or if your dosage needs to be changed, or if any other type of treatment is needed. But the thing is, like I said, I just needed help as fast as possible. So that's why I decided to go and do the that partial hospitalization. I really didn't want to do it because like nobody wants to do that. Genuinely, nobody wants to be there. You want to be like free. You don't want to be stuck there, you know, doing therapy for a couple of hours every day. But if you need it, you need it. I mean, I need it right now, and I needed to realize that and understand that I need the help. So I was supposed to start it this week, but I moved it for Monday so that I could pass like the bulk of my period here at home. I have a very, very terrible period, with a lot of pain and a lot of bleeding. So it's really debilitating, and I know that I wouldn't have been able to like concentrate or really absorb the treatment as it's meant to if I was worrying about being on my period. So it sounds really stupid to some people maybe, but I'm gonna do what's best for me. So I decided to move the date towards Monday, and hopefully by Monday everything has calmed down a little bit and I'm feeling a little bit better. So that's what's going on with me with like I said, the anxiety, the panic attacks. We are getting that sorted. We're getting the treatment. Then my grandma, even though she has dementia, she's still like really strong. She's not bedbound or anything. She is very strong-willed, which is a problem a lot of the times because she doesn't like to be told what to do. But obviously with these patients, they don't have the initiative to do things like hygiene, showering, brushing their teeth. So we have to kind of remind her to do these things and help her, but she doesn't like getting told what to do. So it's always a struggle. But anyway, today she was supposed to have an appointment, and she woke up. She looked fine. I didn't see her when she woke up, but my family members told me that she looked fine, like she was walking fine. And they told her that they needed to change her because she came out in her pajamas. She was wearing her pajamas. So they told her that they needed to change her clothes because they had an appointment. And all of a sudden, she kind of slumps over. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Let's do a change. Let's try the other pen. I kind of forgot what I was saying. Oh, I was talking about grandma. So she kind of slumped over at the dining table, and for some reason, because she's kind of a drama queen too, they thought that she was kind of joking because she loves drama. She is extremely dramatic. So they thought that she was just being dramatic, you know, she didn't want to change her clothes, all of that. But then they realized that she wasn't really moving too much. And they were like, hey, what's going on? This is scaring us. And they tried to take her to the bed so that she could lie down for a bit. and she literally was dead weight. Like she could not stand. So by this point, I had kind of heard, like I woke up and I kind of heard what was going on. So when I got out, I helped them get her to her bed, and she was not responding. Like she was conscious. I don't know how to explain it, because if you talk to her, she could kind of move, maybe like her fingers or her head a little bit, but she couldn't really open her eyes or talk. So then we started to get really worried because she really was not responding to any of what we were saying to her. So we realized that because it was just one family member and me, we were not going to be able to carry her into the car, plus then get her to the hospital. It would be faster to call an ambulance. So we called 911, and the ambulance came. Paramedics checked her out. Her sugar was pretty high. So far, she isn't diabetic. You know, she's been getting tested over the years, and she's never been diabetic or at the risk. Like, that's never been an issue, but her sugar was very high for some reason today. And she hadn't had anything, not even a drop of water. So it was very, very strange. She hadn't eaten anything. She hadn't taken anything to drink. She had taken her medication last night as per usual, like every day. Like everything was normal. We didn't do anything differently with her. But her sugar was really high. That's not super, super high, but it was high for someone who isn't diabetic and who was at that moment in like fasting because she hadn't broken her fast. So that was kind of concerning. And then the paramedics arrived. They checked her pulse and it was very low. And her blood pressure was also very low, which explains why she was the way she was. So again, she wasn't really that responsive when they tried to talk to her. She didn't talk back, but she wasn't really responding to any commands to like open her eyes or move her fingers, which was obviously very scary. But in all of that, like she was quote unquote okay. Like she was breathing, her vitals, like yeah, her blood pressure was low and her pulse was low, but not in a way that was like extremely scary. So once we saw that, we were like, okay, so it doesn't look like she's in immediate danger. Like she's not having a heart attack or a stroke right now, is what I'm trying to say. So they were able to get her in a stretcher and get her to the ambulance, and there they immediately started an IV and they started doing an EKG on her to start getting some more information as to what was going on. And we left for the hospital. Do you hear those birds? They're insane. So yeah, once they started with the fluids and everything, she started kind of coming back to life a little bit. So that kind of looks like she was dehydrated. And that does make sense because she does not like to drink water. At the end of the day, you can't make them. Even though they act like toddlers a lot of the time, like, you can't make them. If they don't want to do something, they will not do it. So we try to sneak in liquids throughout the day in any other way we can, because if you just give her like the plain bottle of water, she'll take like 2 sips and that's it. She won't drink. So we try to hide it in other ways so that she still is getting some water intake, but she just doesn't like it. And that makes sense that she would be dehydrated because she's definitely not drinking enough water. But like, how do you get her to drink more water? Because like I said, you can't make her. So what do? It's very difficult. It's a very, very difficult process. So I left because, like I said, my mental health has not been great, and being in a hospital waiting room was not going to be a good time for anybody. So I'm back at home. They did some tests, like lab work, and they also sent her for an MRI. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know, to discard any reason to think that it may be a stroke or something. I don't know. But they did an MRI, and right now she is pretty stable. She started to talk again. She was looking a little bit more lively. So she doesn't seem to be in any immediate danger, thankfully. And it looks like she's doing a little bit better. So now we're just waiting on results of the other tests that they did to see if there are any other concerns or any other answers to what might be happening. And yeah, that's what's been going on. Like I said, it doesn't help my mental health because the last thing that I want is for anything to happen to her. And seeing her like that today was very, very scary. So I'm trying to do things that bring me peace, so that my anxiety doesn't like spiral out of control, because right now all the help needs to go to grandma. So I'm on my own right now if anything happens. So I need to be okay, right? I don't want to put any more stress on my family than they are experiencing right now with her at the hospital. That would be very selfish of me. So that's why I said that, you know, it's my first whip and chat. Maybe I should have done a more fun theme or a not so depressing and negative theme, but I believe in transparency and sharing our struggles. I think it does help knowing that maybe if you're going through something similar, you know, to know that you're not alone and that there are a lot of us going through similar experiences. And I think it does make you feel a little bit better knowing that it's possible to overcome these things and, you know, get to a brighter place. Because as others have done it, we can do it too. This is coming out so pretty. I was definitely getting tired of the color blocking. Like, I enjoy color blocking, but this was too much. So I'm super excited to be doing finally some color. I think I'm just gonna do this symbol, that triangle right there, and we'll call it a day for now. Because to be quite honest, the birds do stress me out. Like I said, the only place where we have decent lighting is here, and those are not my birds, so I don't really like birds that much. And they stress me out when they're in that state of like constant screaming, because I don't know what's going on with them. Like, they're okay. Nothing is harming them. They're perfectly fine. And all of a sudden they start screaming like that. Like, I'm currently looking at them. They're perfectly fine. I think I hit the tripod, but I think it's okay. They are perfectly fine. They're just sitting on their little, like sticks and stuff and just looking around. But then they start screaming and I'm like, why are you screaming? Nothing is happening. So they do stress me out quite a bit. And that's why I don't really like being in this room too much, because I like to stay away from them as much as I can. And I love animals, but like constant noise does not do well with my brain. It really overstimulates me and I get really anxious and kind of irritated. Like, see, they're starting to get a little crazy again. So I think we're gonna leave it at that. I think we made some good progress today. So will they let me? I wonder if they will let me at least end the video. Hopefully I can find another space in the house where there is still some good lighting, but it's farther away from these little heathens. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed chatting with me a little bit. I needed this little vent session. I'm sorry it was a little bit heavy, but I do hope that you're doing well, that your family is doing well, that you're healthy, that you're safe, that you're good. I truly, truly mean that. I'm going through a dark spot, a dark patch, a rough patch right now, and it seems like it's never getting any better, but I know that eventually it will. So I just wanted to say that. It might feel dark right now, but it'll get better. We don't know when. It might take a long time. It might seem like it's never getting better, but it will. I'm very confident that it will, and I know that it will for you too. I am wishing you all the best. I'm wishing you so much health and so many good things. So that's where we're going to end it today. I hope you enjoyed my first whip and chat. Like I said, I'm sorry it was a heavy one, but let me know in the comments. I want to know, are you okay? Are you doing okay? How's your mental health? Are you struggling? Do you need someone to talk to? We can talk in the comments. I want this to be a safe space for anyone that is struggling right now. So leave it in the comments if you need to talk to someone, and we can maybe all help and support each other. So thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully the next time I will have some better news. Until the next time, take care of your mental health, bestie. Bye.